All right, so I need to figure out this whole situation. I think I'm gonna have to use these. Which one's the right? This one's the right. Can't see my pretty earrings that way though. Here we go. I don't know if I'm supposed to hear it at this time. Hello? Anyone? Anything? Nope. Why? No input. I wonder how that sounds. No, because that doesn't have an input. Stop. Okay, this new GarageBand thing, I don't like it. I don't know why they changed. Okay, so don't save. Let me try one more time with the 1 and 2 output. Testing. Okay, so this sounds better, kind of, but it's mono. And otherwise, it has like, I don't know, some weird. Well, this one has that too. Okay, hold on. What if I press this? No, okay. Hello? Okay. I really hope that I'll be able to find the mic holder thing. So this isn't the best mic. I'm getting a lot of echo. This is a very sensitive mic, so maybe I should just hold it here. That was loud. And I had this what do you call it? Thing. Why is this creaking so much? I'm just moving my head. Why are you creaking? It's so weird. What if I do this? Well, this looks ridiculous though. I wonder if it's on my earring. Anytime that I move my head, it'll creak. I don't even have to move my head. If I just expand my jaw enough, it'll creak. Anyways, welcome. Okay, this is going to bother me. I don't know what is happening with this. Hold on. Is this the right side? Yes, it is. All right. So, well, excuse the creaking and where are you? She was. I have my parakeet just randomly chewing on the microphone box. But yes, welcome. The creaking will annoy you as it annoys me, but hopefully, just like with me, again, on the video side, you'll get a little tail action from Aaru as she's, I don't know, she's trying to entertain herself, I guess. Put do not disturb. And not that it actually does anything. Anyways, this is, I guess, going to be episode 1. I should do a trailer. Maybe this is the trailer. You'll hear like a little patter of the feet of Aaru, the parakeet. Swiss. This is her. That sounds like a relationship altogether. I clean after her. I clean her poop up. I'm sorry about this, but this helps so much. Having these headphones helps so much. I'm just torn between using them and hearing the creak or not moving my jaw enough. I don't know why that's doing that. I guess I haven't used them in a while. Can you oil like headphones? Can you oil them so they don't creak anymore? So this is pretty decent, well, not decent, but pretty accurate introduction, trailer, whatever of this podcast, because it is called Randomosities and it is random. So yeah, and this is very much my first time. I'm figuring everything out. I did try to record a podcast a while back, like 2020. Wait, no, not even close to 2020. 2010, 11, 12, maybe in college, maybe in my master's. And I sounded so, hello, this is Arina. I did not know I sounded like that back then. That was also random. And then I tried one I was interviewing different friends or people. And that was like in the car kind of podcast, meeting up with these people, and they would last about 3 hours. When I get to interview and put questions together, whether it's for myself or for others, like I do this end of the year question session for myself, inspired by Billie Eilish's, was it on Vogue or one of those things? They do, 3-year interview, 4-year interview. They do one every year for the past 4 or 5 years. And I thought that was so cool to see yourself video wise, like looks wise, and hear yourself and hear these specific questions. And then of course I amplified those, or I multiplied those questions, and they're about 200 questions. And of course that takes forever. It's about the past year, the new year, and yeah, it takes forever, but I do love those. And the same thing with when I have interviewed or whatever, interviewed people. It's not the classic interview. When you hear interview, then it also took about 3 hours or so. Because it's their answers, and this is also trial and error. The more that you do this, the more you understand that people will have longer answers than in your mind. Like, oh, it's only like 10 questions, it's not gonna last too long. It's like, what, let's say 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 questions. But no, an answer can be 3 to 5 minutes or more, so depending on the question. So yeah, that was also learning progress, but I can't say that I learned and did better. I just learned that's what it does. And yeah, but it is the first time with this microphone. Sorry, I sometimes reply to her, most of the time. This microphone, what is it? Oh, wait, hello. You're on this side. Okay. This is the Neumann microphone, TLM 102. Hi. I don't know if this actually sounds better recording. This is another trial run learning thing. I think this is the right side, because when I was trying to figure things out, this is what it sounded like when I was trying to like go all around the microphone, and like what I just did. So I'm sorry that's why you were hearing her so well. But yeah, I'm sorry. Now I'm all much clearer. What was I saying? I don't know. Okay, because of this creakiness, which I don't know if I hear more in my own ears or on the microphone, or both probably. But every time that I basically expand my head, because when you're talking, you're opening your mouth and it has just different things. Every time I do that, for some reason, these headphones are creaking. I'm going to try to oil them. I don't know, with olive oil, probably not a good idea. I don't know. I'm going to Google and see, because I'm sure that's annoying. But welcome. Let's get started into the actual podcast. How many minutes has this been? 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? I can't tell. 22 minutes on the video recording, but I think I started recording before. So, yeah, and I can't tell what's 267 point. Oh, wait, it's 4 counts of stuff. So it's not even a second. So it's like 273, 274, 2. That's how GarageBand counts. And I just, for someone who wanted to, and still kind of in the back of my mind, I would want to be a musician. I'm just not in that season right now, or era, as the Taylor Swift, thing started. Yeah, I do get annoyed by technical things that I feel are not useless, but you should be able to not have that as a default, because I don't know, maybe they should have like a podcast setting, because I don't care about metronome measures. Basically, I don't care that it's 296 now of 4 counts at like 120 whatever tempo, beats per minute tempo. And yeah, I just want to know the minutes. Did I start? I said, okay, here we go, let's start. Did I start? No, I did not. All right, so yeah, this microphone, the Neumann microphone TLM 102, I bought this in 2020, I want to say. And I bought it from Sweetwater, right? I think they're in Chicago or some Illinois or somewhere in the Midwest, up northwest. And sorry, just the video annoyed me. The kind of slanted random lamp situation. And I bought it because I was going to up my game as far as singing. I don't have the best voice. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. And I was on a roll with songwriting back then. And I really wanted, I even took, I think it was after I took a songwriting course, and the instructor, we'll call him, he's like his own, it was through Berkeley Music, I think. No, maybe, I don't know. But it was like just a 4-week situation or 6-week situation. And because I don't know if it was like a course, I don't know. My brain, not on top of its game this past year, so bear with me. Anyways, he said, don't stop writing. Whatever you do, don't stop writing, because you have a very unique writing style. Not a very unique writing style. Oh, I forget how he said it, but like he told me to not, he kind of like singled me out, because throughout the whole competition, or it wasn't competition, throughout the whole course situation thing, I was the only one he said that to. And I was also maybe the only one that that felt maybe, what am I, should I be here? Because I don't, everyone had some sort of either professional background or amateur background, but amateur in the sense of they had performed open mics, or they had recordings or something, and they were playing instruments. And I used to play violin, but not to the extent where I could, at that time, probably if I kept with it, I could have like created songs, but now I can't. Same with piano. I never played piano, but I can do a little bit. And I bought a guitar in 2019 for a Black Friday, and I haven't learned anything really, except for Kings of Leon, Closer. But then I don't remember that. I learned it like in that moment. I pick things up really fast, but then I hit a plateau and I go downhill from there instead of going up. So I bought this mic to do that, to up my, sorry about the cough. I'm going to learn to navigate all of this. I think I was with the guy from Sweetwater, which I loved. This is what I thought Beach Photo does, but they don't do this well. They don't really have experts. They don't really interact with you. They're just a glorified customer service. And yeah, because I remember every time that I've tried to locate some sort of equipment specific, like, hey, this is my price range, this is what I'm looking for, etc., etc. They're like, well, this is popular, this is a bestseller, this is, in your price range. It was just not customizable, not customized. But this guy called me, and like, they develop a relationship with you, and I regret not being in a place where I could continue that, because financially I couldn't afford to do more. And I also have a hard time keeping in touch and networking and maintaining relationships. So yeah, but I would recommend them. This is not an ad because I am not sponsored. No one knows I'm doing this. So definitely recommend Sweetwater. And Sweetwater, if I get big enough, please reach out, support. Let's collaborate, because yeah, just from that one interaction. Maybe that's not fair. Maybe they suck now. I don't know. Either way, because of like talking with me and hearing kind of what I was trying to do with my voice or this or that, and my range, I think, was in the conversation, or I don't know. He's like, this is the mic for you. And this is a popular microphone, I think. So it's not like, oh wow, but it just felt a lot more personal and to me, chosen for me, because I was having a hard time with the other thing is I don't sing loudly. I don't speak like, yeah. So I wanted something that could pick things up. I don't even remember, but here we are. We have a microphone that does pick up. I don't have to even talk normally. I can just whisper. Whew, let me breathe, because I hold my breath when I do this. And I always talk faster. Let me try this. Like, now I'm too soft spoken, I feel like. Oh, Pishoru. She's like, she just retracted one of her claws. She's sleeping on the not iPad, laptop. Is this the trailer? No. I don't know what this is. I feel like maybe I should put this as like a, not a trailer, but like a episode 0. There we go. I like that. I like that. I'm not ready. I don't think I'm ready for a trailer to a podcast. I don't really know what I'm doing. At least like in the sense that they kind of tell you online. Let me bring this closer too. This is kind of better. I don't know. My hand is kind of tired. This is just like so annoying. Oh, that's a little better. Okay. Yeah, in terms of what they kind of tell you to do in YouTube, how to podcast or whatever, I'm not doing that probably. And this is definitely because the trailer or the description information, whatever template that I saw was, welcome to Randomosities, the podcast about blank, hosted by Arina. In each episode, and you say the format, and then you have an engagement sentence. And I'm like, literally, that's all I got to. Welcome to Randomosities. I did say the podcast about all the random things that cross my mind about the world, life, and humans, which is kind of sort of true, but not exactly. And then hosted by Arina. And the format, I'm not sure yet because we're just starting and I don't have any experience in this. And I really don't want to, I want to explore. Engagement sentence, that brings up some, is it resentment? Some just like feeling. I don't like marketing. I don't hate capitalism for capitalism. I just hate the over capitalism part of capitalism, the overselling, the over, you have to buy this, 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 you have to buy this. You have to be engaged, call people in, do the psychology, go after the people, go after your audience, know what they want, know what they need, know what they like. And one of the reasons that I wanted to make music was to connect with people, not to sell people on me or my product. I didn't, because that's not a product to me, music. I didn't want it to be about a transaction, which is why I'm not Taylor Swift, among other things. Because she is about the transaction. She knows or wants or whatever if, she needs more money. Like, everything she does is focused around how to get money. If you have not noticed, from the beginning, she's selling all of these, special editions. There is no reason, especially in 2020, whatever. And when you're advertising yourself, because she is advertising herself as, okay, we're getting into a random topic, as someone who is like one with the fans, a friend that you have that's just on the screen, very ethical and moral and all this stuff, feminism, blah, 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 sustainability, etc. When you advertise yourself like that, but your actions kind of are doing the opposite, where it's about like, the idea of, oh, she's a billionaire and she deserves it. I mean, a lot of people deserve it that aren't. She got there because her dad was like a finance advisor or something. Her mom worked in marketing for a financial firm. So, and then also, just being in the industry and having the goals, and just, I think her, what's that word? Not stubbornness, but, you have an idea in your head that you want to create, or, your vision, and you want that to happen, and you go for it. Steadfastness, maybe? I don't know. All of those things combined, a lot of things combined to have her be a billionaire and be where she is. It is not just because she is a really good songwriter. It is not because of that. And also, she's a good songwriter also because she practiced it and focused on it and devoted herself to that and learning more about it and collaborating with people, learning from those people, and so forth. So this is not like, oh my gosh, she's a genius and that's why she's, if I'm good at something, I'll be rich or whatever. No, unfortunately. You have to be money hungry to be rich. You have to be very methodical to get money. So, and that was, is it called like an antithesis of me? I was the opposite of that, and I am the opposite of that, but I'm also desperate. I don't have money to really live day to day that much. I live paycheck to paycheck. I am struggling, and I'm not in a place that I feel is conducive with my age and my goals and my nestingness that I feel, and just life. I want to be able to afford food and rent and not have to kind of think about whichever comes first, or bills. And I want to, relax when I get home instead of just be tense or super tired because I'm exhausted on thinking about, thinking about how am I going to make enough money so I don't have a negative balance. Because also, if you had negative balance and they weren't taking more and more money as a result, then it wouldn't be a problem. But I mean, it would still be a problem. But it's a problem either way. And I don't know how I got here. I had high hopes and dreams for myself. This is actually the perfect segue, and this is the perfect introduction to me and why I am doing this. I'm trying the podcast version because it's something I haven't tried, and a lot of people are listening to podcasts, and this way you have a choice between audio and video, and then it sounds kind of better because of the microphone. And I don't have another microphone to have cool vlogs and things and videos. So, or lighting. So this is kind of what you get. I mean, I do have some lighting. I could open that up, but it's almost like a Pandora's box because then it'll be all over. I was thinking of doing this not in my living room, in my middle room where I put everything that's like my desk and the piano or the keyboard. Like, fun fact, keyboard that I had since we came here when I was 10. So I've had that keyboard for a long time and still okay. I bought a keyboard in 2020 with this microphone. Not from the same place. I think it was from Amazon. And it was a good keyboard, but I'm like, I don't really need it. Do I need it? No. It was like, it wasn't even that expensive. It was $100 some. And I think, and I mean, this was a lot more. This microphone was a lot more than that. And yeah, I just didn't need it. I already have one. It's good enough. It's good enough. But yeah, back to the introduction. I was on a roll and I broke the roll. So I'm in a place in my life where I'm trying to get back on my track. You know, when people say get back on track, but it's my track, my path. But yeah, like, what is that? I don't know. I used to have such a clear vision for my life, for my, like, all areas of life, kind of, at least my career side. I knew what I wanted. I really wanted to be a singer. Maybe I'll sing for you some of my original songs. I really wanted to be a singer. I loved songwriting. I then wanted to also not, so it wasn't on the same scale, on the same level, but I also wanted to do film because I saw this one movie, I forget, but it was with George Clooney and it was in the underground of the Disney World or Disneyland, Disney World, the one in Florida. And like, you know, the secret world that's there that's like more futuristic, but not something. And I don't know the name of that movie. If you know it, comment if you can. I don't know. Comment on my YouTube. And yeah, on the video for this. But yeah, this brings to mind, like, I need to figure out, you know, how to communicate because I want to communicate with whoever wants to communicate, probably no one. But yeah, so I had this new vision that was very like my music vision, but different in that I wanted to connect with humans and I wanted humans to connect with each other and with me, I guess. But that's kind of, when you say I want to connect with humans, that's like, you know, a two-way street, and them to connect with each other and in that two-way street. And this was more, it was also around the time of Inception as well, where the idea of ideas being the best virus, or not the best, but the most infectious virus, because once you're exposed to something, it's there. Even if you put it out of your mind, it's always going to be in your mind somewhere. And I was like, oh my gosh, I always wanted to change the world. What a great way to change the world, by mainstream movies that are, because that's what I liked about that movie. It had philosophical ideas. Star Wars. My dad was into, or is, Wayne Dyer and spiritual things, and the way that when I was listening to him and learning about that from him, that world, and I saw Star Wars, whatever came out around, I don't know, 2017, 18, 19, somewhere. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's this. Avatar, the same thing. These are like spiritual things that they're different, they're combinations, they're layers of different things in that movie. There's also political things in like Avatar especially. But I was drawn to the ideas, the spiritual practices around the world that were in this, that we don't really talk about or practice. when people are spiritual here, it's still not the spiritual when I read a Wayne Dyer book, and specifically also with the combination that my dad was presenting me from other things that he's read, and like the more Native American type of, is my door unlocked? I have my squirrel moments. I don't know why. That's not even important. So yeah, when I heard about that and I saw that with those eyes, it was just so connecting, and it was like awesome to think of, oh, let me expose more of the population, the human population, to things that, the goal of them aspiring and being exposed. There's a word in psychology. I'm gonna shout out another person that I'm not affiliated with in any way. None of what I said, product wise, people wise, are my affiliations or sponsors or anything like that. But Dr. Kirk Honda was saying this, like, when it's basically rooted, like, when you don't know, you don't know, and people only do as much as they know at any time. And I always, and this is more into the spiritual realm of, maybe it's my name, because my name is supposedly, it means peace in Greek. It's like kind of coming from Greece, but throughout other Eastern European ventures. But anyways, and so maybe it's because of that. Or maybe because my family got divorced. You already get to know me a lot in this podcast, in this episode. But I have always, like, my goal, I always said, what do you want to do in life, is change the world, create more, not create more peace, but change the mentality of humanity to be more human, to be more on each other's side, to be more together. So connection, peace, harmony, love, these things is what I want to help humans develop. I need help with that. Others need, we all need help. Very few of us, if any, are really good at that or don't need any help. And I always wanted to do that with music. With movies, it was different. With music, it was more about connection and making people feel seen and heard and understood and feel the connection. And I had this image that I was on stage and the people were like hugging each other, but not in a weird culty way, like not in a weird way, but just, which was hard to imagine, because I'm like, I can't see that unless it's that way. But it's not, I don't mean it that way. It's not about, being manipulated or anything, brainwashed or anything like that. It's just normal people having this experience where it's like, oh, you're a human being, and just the connection. I don't know. And now I see that with Taylor Swift. Is she, oh, sorry, I kind of brought this closer. I don't agree with a lot of things, and I agree with a lot of things. I am not a early on fan. I could not relate to her early music at all. It was just, to me, whiny girly and non-relatable. I could not relate to what she was writing. I didn't have those thoughts that she was putting on paper, or even experiences. So, but Lover, from then on, I could relate more. I feel like our relationships mirrored each other. I mean, neither of us know each other, but, in that kind of universal way. And so her words spoke to me, and even the music was better. and it wasn't annoying. Again, that's to me. I know a lot of people loved her early stuff more. I know most people for some reason hate the album Lover. I don't know why, because to me it's one of the good ones. The first, I don't know, a lot of the first albums of hers were not that good, in my opinion. But see, I have actually scheduled a whole episode on this, so stay tuned for that. Look at that. I already have something to stay tuned for. But, oh my gosh, I'm sorry for the creaking. There's so much creaking. So yeah, but yeah, seeing that with her Eras tour, you know, I didn't think of friendship bracelets. We didn't have that in Romania when I was growing up and having this vision. And I don't know. Yeah, but everything else kind of is what I envisioned, except I think I just had a little bit more joyful music, more sad music, things that I was listening to at that time in the 90s. And yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It was just everything. And it wasn't as like young girlish, I guess, in my mind. But either way, everything else, the connection, what people describe, the experience of being in that concert and being together and having these friends from across the country or globe even, that's what I wanted, but not in that way necessarily. But just now looking back, I remember just the crossover of people hugging each other or feeling like they're friends with people in the audience of strangers. And with movies, I wanted to go further into connecting with a lot more people in a different way, where you didn't have to like my style, me, which is what music would have been, but you know, how do you make movies that are mainstream action or whatever it's kind of like, you know, gummy vitamins. They taste good. They're candy, but they're vitamins. They're good for you. They have something that's good for you. That's, you know, giving you nutrients. That's what I wanted to do with movies. I didn't want to do anything horror. I didn't want to do anything that was conflict in it. And I had almost like, not discussion, argument with, I went to England for a little bit to do directing masters sort of thing, and they kind of screwed up my financials. They approved me, and then I got there and like, oh, psych, remember that money said, we told you that you'll get on August. They extended it to November, and then in November, like, oh, sorry, you don't actually get it. I'm like, my host family has been waiting for me to pay them. You know, what the heck? You signed, you sealed, you put the seal on your letter. Anyways, but when I was there, I did have a workshop, and I got sort of into a conflict, not really, with the director of the program and also a movie director about conflict. I'm like, I don't want to make anything with conflict. I don't want people fighting. I don't want to see that, and I don't want to put that out there. There's plenty. That's like so cliche. There's plenty of that. I remember going to Meisner when I came back, and I remember being very into that process, but just seeing a lot of people just in conflict and swearing at each other and thinking, ew, this just doesn't feel real. This is fake. People don't talk like that. People are not that angry, are they? Why are you so angry? Looking back, I think it was the combination of my aspirations for the world and also learning about attachment styles. I think I was a little bit more dismissive avoidant, or more avoidant. I'm fearful avoidant. I'm in the middle. I'm the complicated one. unfortunately. But yeah, and I wasn't a lot more. That was from my avoidant, like, oh, conflict. Ooh, you don't want conflict. I never, excuse me, I was never uncomfortable with conflict, but to that degree, where it was just so negative energy and just so much hatred. I remember though having the experience of finally giving into that, and then seeing how transformative that is, and then by the end of it you're friends. And it's a brain lesson, a life lesson that I keep in my brain. It's hard to express, but I keep it in my brain. When you really are, you don't hold back, you don't censor yourself, you're actually going to get through the problem and figure things out or whatever, and then actually are friendly after, and you both kind of get what you need. But as long as you're trying to make the other person do what you need them to do, or you're holding back from fears of how you're going to be perceived or whatever, the less that's going to happen. Ironically, the less you're going to get your needs met, and they will get their needs met, and no one wins. But it's a hard lesson until you learn it through that experience. And our professor, teacher, instructor, she would say stuff like that all the time and explain it. But again, until you're doing it, then it clicks. Well, look at this. I went through a lot of different things, and it's almost an hour long. I have my iPad here. I wanted to go over kind of what this format, I sort of imagine this format be. So I initially said all random things that cross my mind about the world and life and humans. Yes, I think that that's part of it. But I also am dabbling into the thought of either having 3 different episodes per week of different formats, like specific topics for each episode, or 1 episode and then it rotates, or 1 episode with these different segments. The only problem that I have with the latter version choice, is that it will be maybe too long, too hard to edit, because I would have to edit it at that point. I don't want to edit it because right now I'm trying to do the best that I can, and that does not include editing. And look at me, if you're watching the video, I'm doing that like claw thing that girls do. It's not even a claw, it's like a beak. It looks like a duck when girls talk like this. But anyways, so it's so wrong. But you watch it, and this is what Inception was talking about. So yeah, the problem with that also that I have, and I'm not a big podcast listener, and by that I mean I don't ever listen to podcasts unless they're video, in which case I really enjoy it. But I need video. I need to connect with people. Having sounds in my mind, in my head, is not connecting with people. And so, same with text. Text is nice, but it's not the same. We can text all day. I still need face-to-face, or even if it's just video chat. And it doesn't have to be daily, though. I don't know. It depends. Deviating right now. I'm getting into semantics, right? Details. So that will be also the idea of having 1 episode with all of these different segments. It sounds like a lot, and it sounds like they're for different audiences. And if you like one segment, how are you going to know what time mark to go to listen to that segment that you really enjoy, and you don't care about the other ones, And since I'm really in the developmental stage, and I am not sure what my audience is, I have no audience right now. And what is also matched and aligned with my skills and my, not passion, but purpose, then I don't really feel comfortable putting it all on 1 episode. but 3 episodes a week is also a lot. So I don't know. It also at the same time is not enough, because I used to vlog and every day I had, 20 or 40 minutes of me just talking about, what did I say? Random things that cross my mind about the world, life, and humans. Things happen every single day that make you think like, oh, and how you want to talk about that. Your experience, your observation, people's observation, whatever. Hold on. Oh boy. All right. Let me move a little bit because, oh my gosh, my left arm is just kind of stuck. All right. So it might not make any difference to you on the audio, except hearing me move and around and stuff, and this annoying sound, because it's hard on our eardrums, I think. Oh, okay. I look probably worse, but I feel a little better because I was really stuck in that position for a long time. All right, so hello. This is Arina. This is a podcast called Randomosities. I was debating on the spelling of that. I chose this one because the other one was taken as far as like .com or whatever. And it ended up being, I think, that I got the .live. So it didn't even matter. But it also sounded, when I went to type it, this is how I typed it. So welcome to Randomosities, hosted by me, Arina. I also have a vlog and a bunch of different ventures that I both like, enjoy, or have been just moments in time. So if you ever see any of them come up on your search, there you go. This is a podcast, TBD on what the format is, what's real, the format, what it really is about. But it is kind of incorporating, as I said, all the random things that cross my mind about the world, life, and humans. And these are kind of what I see potential segments of at least 2 different episodes a week, maybe per month. Anyways, per month, that sounds not enough. So one segment, I love TV. I love reality TV. Why? Because, well, I either watch old TV that I'm used to, that I can fall asleep to, which I've never had to or felt like falling asleep to until this past year, because I went through it this year. And so I started watching Frasier, Schitt's Creek, Wings. There was another one. I don't know. But anyways, these are the 3 ones that populate my brain, I guess, right now. And those I'm not going to talk about necessarily. Aaru. This is my parakeet. If you are not on the video, then you won't see her. But she will be featured wherever she feels like entering. Or you'll hear in the background little sounds. So yes, I love sorry, I got an email. Do not disturb is supposed to also do not disturb the notifications. So one of the episodes at least one segment, I want to focus on TV shows. And really, if I watch something new, if I see a new movie, whatever, that I will talk about. And also gaming. So I'm not a big gamer, but I game sometimes. I prefer to game with, should we call him by his name or by his title, brand, label? I never know. This is awkward now. But yeah, anyways, I prefer gaming with my boyfriend. I don't prefer gaming by myself. Sometimes I do, especially if I'm onto a new game that I really just get really into. We both share this quality. We latch onto a game for a while, and then, at least for me, that expires really quickly, but not always quickly enough. And yeah, so if I, oh my gosh, I played this new game, this will go in this segment as well. The other segment, so this is like a two mini segments. The biggest segment of this is reality TV reaction. My thoughts on what happened specifically in 90 days, because the universe of 90 Day Fiance, because I have thoughts, and I watch this as both someone who's lived in the US for a long time, most of my life, and as someone who is not from the US. And it's kind of cool to see the reactions that people not from the US have to US. Like Jasmine walking into Gino's house. Now, my thoughts on Jasmine and Gino are complex, but her walking into his house, I knew exactly what she meant, and I knew exactly how she was viewing that. And probably most Europeans would also know. But Americans wouldn't know, because his house is very, at least Midwest American. And yeah, but the way she was talking about the smell and the just how dirty it was, and yeah, to him it wasn't dirty. To Midwest Americans, that's not necessarily dirty. Some of the things even they would say, even Americans would say it's dirty, but I know I know what she was talking about. So it was like really cool. It's a really cool show. Got into it in 2020, because Nelson showed it to me or talked about it, and I was like, okay, let me check this out. It sounds like a cool idea. And it was, they had commercials for it already, but I just never was into reality TV that much before. I was at that time watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, New York. I think just that. And then Potomac was after that as well. And then now Miami. And those are the 4 ones that I watch. And so I will also talk about that maybe, but there's not much to talk about. They're not very relatable like 90 Days. And there's just like too much conflict and drama, and sometimes just stupid. Like, why are you fighting? However, I have thoughts about even positives that can be taken from that show. So yeah, so that is kind of the episode 1, segment 1 sort of thing, is TV shows, movies, gaming, and then specifically reality TV opinions and reactions. And then I also, so I don't know where to put, but this is okay. I'm just going to say what I have so far. The other part of this episode would be, not this one that you're hearing, but the one that we're talking about, would be getting back in touch with the world, reconnection with the world. So in this segment, it would be about me reading news, or not reading it on air on, this and on the podcast, but reading it and then having opinions, or just sort of say, this is what I learned today, or this is what I learned this week, or this is what's happening in the world. Because that is something that I used to do so much before, 2016. And then I went under a rock because it was just too much to handle. And it was just so depressing. And I felt so trapped and powerless. And I don't know. I felt it wasn't good for my mental and emotional health, but staying away from it wasn't either. I don't know. But I really miss being engaged with the world. I want to know what's going on. And I also want to dive into history as well. And I want to start reading more, probably audiobook wise, because tough time with reading, and other things. So yeah, I thought these go together because, reality TV reactions and whatever reactions, and my video went away. I don't have video anymore because I forgot to clean my phone off. So yeah, anyway, so that I thought they go together because it's about the world. The second episode is, in my mind, about me more. Personal updates, I call them the Romerican Chronicles because I had the idea of having like Romerican be my channel name on YouTube. And it's basically Romanian American, squished together. And getting out of this fog that I've been getting, not just getting back in touch with my purpose and my future and my career and my present and me and what I want to do and my habits and all those things, but figuring them out as well. In my 30s now, late 30s, and I have less figured out than I had in my 20s. And so I feel like I need to reacquaint myself, but not so much with me, but sort of just I don't see, I don't even know. But that's like episode 2 is just my journey, that if anyone relates to it is welcome to tune in. I want to connect with others that are feeling the same way or experiencing and going through the same thing, especially women or men, anyone really in their 30s and just lost and feeling like they miss who they were, but yet also they never developed into who they really have or are. And so that's kind of episode 2, is all of that. And it will be also some featurings of, Aaru, who went to sleep in her own cage right now, my parakeet. And I think ChatGPT told me to call this segment Feathered Friend Chronicles. And I thought it was cute. So I'm like, I have to include that now. I don't know what to do. She has a mind of her own, and I don't have any tricks to show you, or, we don't talk to each other except she's taught me to whistle. But yeah, it sounds too cute. So I need to figure out a way to do that. But that's episode number 2. And then episode 3 is just a random one. So because this is Randomosities, I do want to keep I want to have some space where it is true to its name. I wanted to do something that is really random. Every week or every month or whatever, there's an episode that is completely random. It's not in any of the other segments or any other, episodes. It can be a question and answer. It can be, actually, I don't know. Something that I observed out in the world and about. Like maybe this random one would be all the random things that cross my mind about the world, life, and humans. Maybe that would go so perfectly in this 3rd episode, a random one. So yeah, that's what I have so far. This is definitely more than a trailer. It is quite long enough to be its own episode. So, but I will call this episode 0, and we'll go from here. The next episode will be, I think, the show one, maybe, because I don't know, either the show one or the personal one. Maybe the personal one sounds like a cool one to just segue into the rest of it, so you get to know me a little bit more. But the show one is something where it's more themed, and yeah, I don't know. Well, you didn't miss too much on the video. If you're watching that, I'll obviously continue the recording part of it, but with just like a blank screen. But you didn't miss too much because there we go. We're kind of at the end of this, and I enjoy this format, but I definitely need to figure something out with the microphone and the headset. Although they haven't been popping quite as much. Maybe they're just getting used to moving again. So, welcome to Randomosities, the podcast about different things, hosted by Arina. In each episode, it depends on the episode, we'll have different segments, either about the world, about TV shows, about games, about getting out of the fog in your 30s and getting back into life and living in your 30s, and Romerican Chronicles and Feathered Friend Chronicles, or just something completely random. So stay tuned, tune in, listen, subscribe to whatever platform this will be on, this that you're listening to, and stay tuned for this will become more polished with time. I hope that I can stick to this and life won't get in the way with other stuff that makes it really impossible for me to keep with this, and I hope you enjoy some of it. If you want to connect, my YouTube channel, comment on the video for this, or that's kind of it right now. I'm not really on social media. There are social medias out there of mine, but I don't log in at the moment, so I will figure it out. I guess it should have its own social media, right? I will figure it out. But I really would love to get in touch. I would really love for this to be more interactive than just me talking. And the air is on. All right. So, excuse me. With that, have a wonderful day and peace, love, and compassion. Remember that. And I started saying this in my coaching YouTube videos and reels, but differentiation as well. Differentiation is a hard one to have and to develop and to know that it's there. We don't talk about it often, but it's really helpful, and it creates a lot of peace in our minds and in our relationships, and a lot of love and a lot of understanding and harmony, and without dismissing or forsaking either party. So all of that, but either way, have a wonderful day. And if you don't, that's okay too. And I'll see you in the next podcast episode. Bye.